Hey guys, I'm back with another book review. So this is for my second book. This is by Ta-Nehisi Coates. I always call him Mr. Coates because I always jack up that first name. My bad. But this is the book I will be reviewing this week. I'm super excited to be doing this book review because this book was absolutely amazing. When I say literary genius, y'all, I mean it. His style of writing is so I don't know, captivating. I don't know, it's amazing, guys. Like, I literally found myself in the story so many times, which is important, especially with a book this thick. You definitely, have to find a way to captivate your audience and keep them there and with you the entire time. And literally, he got that done because I was literally attached to this book for so long. Okay. There's so many characters, so many stories being told inside of the story, so many historical facts, so much literary, so much, I don't even know, magic. It's so much stuff that happens in this book, guys. You have to check it out. My rating for this book, I will give it a 9.5 out of 10. Those 5 points were only gone because of chapter 34. So it's 34 chapters in the entire book, and literally 1 through 33 were amazing. When I say amazing, I mean amazing, y'all. Like, literally every chapter, his writing is just so descriptive. Like, he literally describes every single moment. You feel like I felt like I was watching a movie. Like, you know what, Mr. Coates, this needs to be turned into a film. Like, I'm an actress, and I'm telling you, this deserves to be turned into a film. Like, so amazing. Literally, like, I felt like I was watching every chapter develop. Like, it was so awesome, from the description of the characters' behavior, from the description of, the environment and things like that. Even when it was changed from the beginning to the end, like, I felt like I could see everything, like, writing on point. But when we got to chapter 34, which was the last chapter, what happened, Mr. Coates? What happened? Because literally, I felt like somebody rushed you and said, okay, you know what? We got to get this done. We have to just get this out. And it was like 3 stories chopped into one, or mixed into one, and I was so upset because there was 3 of the main points of the story, and everything was just like compacted. Like, what happened? So I don't know if anybody else felt that way, but literally I was so disappointed with chapter 34 because it was a little chapter and it packed so much, and it was just like, oh, here's the ending, and it was like, wait, I needed to see what happened before we got to the ending. So that's the only reason why I gave it a 9.5. But besides that, like, the entire book is amazing. The story of Hai, who's the main character, like, oh my goodness, y'all have to check it out. So let me share some quotes that stood out to me throughout the entire book. So I got these in my notes here. So chapter 10, this quote actually speaks to, like, the historical times. So the quote says, violations became so natural. And it literally spoke to what not only the women, but the men as well, like, the times that they were in, it was so bad to the point where, the masters and slave owners and people like that would take advantage of the slaves, literally, just because they wanted to, or just for fun, like, they will violate the women sexually, and then they will humiliate the men or make them do silly things, or entertain me, like, it spoke to the times. And for a woman to be able to say, like, violations became so natural, like, yeah, that line definitely, it struck a nerve. It was definitely hard to hear or to read. The next quote that stood out to me was in chapter 14, and it says, there's always a part of us that does not want to win, wants to stay down in the low and familiar. Let me read that again. There's always a part of us that does not want to win, wants to stay down and low and familiar. And I think that that speaks to the times now as well. During that time in the book, the main character was, being afraid or hesitant about going to this newfound freedom place, this state of freedom. And it was just so amazing to me that being a slave during that time and then having the opportunity to be free, me thinking in my millennial, state of mind, I would think, I would have ran for it. But I had to stop and realize, like, you know what? During that time, he probably had a whole bunch of hesitations because he was comfortable. When you're afraid of the unknown, I think that speaks to now as well. Sometimes we are afraid of the unknown. Sometimes we don't want the spotlight. Sometimes we don't want to be the center of attention. We want to hide and we want to be able to lay low, and sometimes we want those kudos, but most of the time, we don't want that recognition. We don't want to win because then it puts us in a different place. It puts us in a place where now expectations are higher. People are looking at us, and they expect a certain thing from us, but we shouldn't be afraid. We shouldn't be afraid at all. We should definitely strive for those new highs, strive for those new levels, because it's only going to make us better. Whether we win at that new level or we fail at the new level, at least we learn something on the way. The next quote that stood out to me was in chapter 16. So it says, finding freedom is only the first part. Living free is a whole other. And that's true. During that time, Hy, the main character, he had just gotten to, a state where it was free. I don't want to do any spoilers, but he had just gotten to this state of, freedom, basically. And it was so crazy and amazing that even though he was literally in a circumstance where he didn't have to worry about massa looking out for him or anything like that, his mindset was still locked down as if he was a slave, holding his head down when he would walk around, looking over his shoulder, and someone had to tell him, like, you don't have to do that here. You're free. You don't have to do that, And I think it speaks to things that we carry from our past, and that's how it related to me. Like, I feel like sometimes we don't realize the things or the behaviors that we carry into these new levels of blessings, that can either enhance the journey, or it can make the journey slow down a little bit or even digress. So we have to keep in mind that when we are allowed these new levels and these new blessings, and we're open to these new environments and new circumstances, God places us in these different levels so that we can excel, and we have to just be aware of, what are we bringing with us? What baggage are we bringing with us? Are we being snappy with this in this new relationship because of what happened in our last relationship? Or are we being, afraid in this new work environment, or being really closed off in this new work environment because we are hurt in our last work environment? We have to just be aware and conscious of, the baggage that we bring with us in these new levels, And the last quote that I absolutely loved was in chapter 29, and it was from Sophia. And she says, for me to be yours, I must never be yours. And oh my goodness, when she said that, I felt that on so many levels, because like I said, this novel is a love story, is a historical, historical piece. It's amazing. It's all in one. There's magic in it. There's everything. And for her to say that, she said that to Hiram, the main character, and basically Hiram was trying to court her and everything, and she told him, like, for me to be yours, I must never be yours, because of course Sophia had it rough. She had literally been the property of her slave owner. She had been taken advantage by him anytime he wanted. anytime he wanted, literally early in the morning, middle of the day, late at night, it does not matter. Whenever he wanted and whatever he called, she was there. Like, and he had someone come pick her up and take her to him, literally. And it was so crazy, you know, and for her to say that to someone, even though she knows that Hiram cared about her, it was still in her mind like, no, you have to be aware that I am not your property. I am a human being. I am an individual, and you have to respect that first. And I absolutely loved that. And I think that crosses over to now, you know, we have to remember that our partners are just that, you know, our partners, you know, they're not our property. We don't own them, you know, and I think it's just, I don't know, it opens your mind to so many different things. So there was plenty more. But those are just some pieces that stood out to me. Definitely, I highly recommend this book. Y'all, it was so good. I enjoyed it. And I want you guys to check out some reviews by my friends. And if you guys have any reviews, let me know. But first, before I leave, I want you guys to check out my friends' reviews on The Water Dancer.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Lulu, and I'm back to review another book. This book is called The Water Dancer. Oh my God, I love this book so much. I'll rate it a 20 out of 10 because it's so good. In this story, you can pull many mini stories of friendship, of love, of loss, of breaking down of oneself, and also the family dynamic, more specifically the Black family dynamic. A quote from this book that I love so much, it says, "Every night those men hunted me. I said, the anger growing in me, and you let them do it. No worse, you sent them to do this." Bruh, when I read that, I damn near cried because I remember around this time last year, I was in a really tough place and I was questioning God on like, why am I here? Why are you sending this to me? Why is this happening to me? Why aren't you helping me? Like, just so many questions, you know, those typical why God questions. And in hindsight, I'm reflecting back, I realized that I needed to go through those things in order to be the person that I am today, right now. So I'm grateful. And reflecting back on the story is that the main character goes through so many different things that he's meant to go through in order to do what he needs to do at the end of this book. So I give this book a 20 out of 10 because it's amazing.
Well, that was it for today. I had so much fun with you guys. Like I always say, like, subscribe, follow me on IG, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys read the book, let me know. If you have any suggestions, any questions, even if you have any book suggestions, definitely comment down below. If you want to, do a review on a book, and send it my way, let me know so that way I can read the book too. If there's any book clubs in the area, I'm in Los Angeles, I'm in the Valley. So if you guys have any questions or if you know of any book clubs or anything like that or any conventions coming up, let me know. I would love, love, love to connect with you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.